I was just sitting here practicing the major scale, and I thought I'd make a new video about that because my attention to details only increased on these fundamental things. And that's a mistake I made for many years, and I know many of us make, is that we don't put enough attention into really knowing the fundamentals. We want to do the really cool stuff, but guess what? The really cool stuff is based on these fundamentals, these triads that are within the major scale. And we're constantly using the major scale either as the major scale or one of the modes of it, and we're unpacking that a little bit here, the modal piece. We'll get more into that, but it's really important to really know the major scale. So, when I was, before getting into the dojo, or maybe even before that, getting more serious, like certainly in the beginning, I knew the major scale, kind of. I didn't use it really much in my playing. I would, hear some things that I would do, something like that. But I didn't use it much, and I didn't know it really well in all positions. And when I mean know it well, it's just got to be there. You shouldn't be thinking about it. And the depth of that, like you can know the scale, without thinking about great. Hey, that's not it. There's more to the depth of knowing any scale, whether it's the major scale or we're going to get into the melodic minor, harmonic minor. Really knowing these things gets into, you got to be able to harmonize the scale and know the triads within the scale. And that's something that I picked up from Robin probably a couple years into my studies. I'm 3.5 years in now. And one thing he said was like, whenever I'm, learning a new scale or something, I was looking for the triads within it. I thought, what do you mean by that, really? And I knew triads, but I didn't recognize how important it was to knowing the scale and having fretboard fluidity, or whatever we want to call that, the ability to really, get yourself into any corner and be able to get your way out of it when you're soloing. We don't want any limitations. We want to be able to go north, south, east, west, on the fretboard, in the context of what we're doing. And that requires, for me anyway, a lot of practice to build these, foundational, pathways. I don't know if there's any way to avoid getting there any other way. For me, it just takes, drilling these scales. But before we get into that, and really, I'll show you how I'm practicing this today. Want to say that you want to make sure you're fully present when you have your hands on your instrument. We have to block out anything else that's floating around in our minds, stuff that's going on in our personal lives or jobs or finances, whatever. You gotta get that out and really be here in with the instrument, in the moment with the instrument. And that's a beautiful thing, because all these things in life can go up and down. But this relationship with the guitar, it puts all that aside, and it's a very meditative, cool thing. So there's that, and in that, the intention of the note. Be musical, even when these things are mechanical in nature of what we're doing, technical practice. We can still do it in time, working with a good feel, because if we're practicing the C major scale and we're doing it like this, like, that's gonna sound like that when you get out and play. Who wants to sound like that? So even though we're not going to go out and play the major scale, you know, make sure it's musical. All right. So how am I practicing this? So let's go through, the positions. I'm going to go through these pretty quickly, but I always like to take the scale up to, to the top of the scale rather than end, on the A, which would be the sixth. Be mindful of the intervals, right? Know what that is. Know what the sixth is. Oops. Like 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right? For me, it's easy to see that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 octave here. But when I go here, it's like, oh, that's the 9, that's the 2, that's the relationship. And that's the 3, and that's the 4, that's the 5, 6, 7, octave, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 9, 1. And I also practice going down, below and coming back around, right? Because if you're in a solo and you're using this position, you don't want to be stuck there like, oh, I wanted to keep going down, but I don't kind of know where that is. So you become fearful, of playing that. So you change what you're playing based on the limitations of your fretboard fluency. So let's not have that happen. And let's start that discipline here with the major scale. So as we get into more complex scales, we'll do the same thing. You gotta know it, man. You can't fake it. Know these. Maybe you do already. We're going to go deeper though. Right? Christmas time. Yeah, well, we'll keep going. And the more we work on these things, like I made that little mistake there, my brain goes, oop, look out for that there. And it's just kind of what I've found is an underlying, mental process going on within your intellect that goes, oop, let's look out for that next time. And your brain kind of takes care of these things behind the scenes. That's a hilarious conversation with Robin one time on one of the Zoom meetings, and I was saying, I'm able to keep track of these things, a little bit, better than I expected. And he said, yeah, your brain is smarter than you sometimes. And it's a fun way of looking at it because it's a lot of information that we're trying to absorb, and you can kind of think like, oh man, am I really going to be able to hang on to this? Yeah, and it's repetition is the key to retention. So we got to keep doing it. All right. So, let's say you know the scale all over the neck and you don't have to think about it. That's great. It's a huge milestone and a great achievement. But we have to know the triads within the scale. Because these are, we can use them in our soloing to be more musical, you know. About that. Yeah, so you know, if you got like you know, like a C chord going. Well, you could play your C major triad over it. You know, that's kind of boring, right? But you could instead, you could play the D minor over the top of that. You know, it's hard to hear right now, but that's the idea. Or to play the E. So, like, in that case, if you have the C and you're playing the D minor over it, that gives you the 9, the 11, and the 6 tones of the C, which is cool. Yeah. Now I changed it. You're not gonna play like only that. I mean, maybe you would. I mean, you could for sure. But usually, what you're doing is taking that triad and then doing something else, like, you know. So that's hopefully that makes sense. That's why we're doing this. So we want to know these triads like the back of our hand as well as we know the scale. And just practice those. Dang it. You know, it's kind of concentrated. You know, it's hard. I guess is my point. I've been doing this a long time, and I still make mistakes, you know. But again, you just, the more you kind of drill these things, I don't drill these things every day. Already getting better. That's why I was doing it today. So, you know, like 1, major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, minor 7 flat 5, major. position. You know, inversions. We'll go there soon. So they're there. But now I'm thinking of these triads, right? Major. Now I'm descending through the scale. So 7th degree is minor 7 flat 5. Then it's minor, minor. What now? Major, right? Minor, minor. No. We should do that. Right? That's a good one. Woo! Woo! Good practice, right? We can, and then you got to run that on every string. That's it. Ah, come on. Right? How often do you do that? Never. Ah. Right? Damn. Let's see. Did I do that right? Yeah. Right. Look at that. Ah, come on now. Stretching the brain. It hurts. Are you still with me, man? If you are, man, then, you know, you're as crazy as I am. Which is good. Yeah? Bad? So major, right? Major, minor, minor, major, major, major. Minor 7 flat 5, major. All right, let's piss him off. Like I said, it hurts the brain, man. I'm ADD. I have an ability to focus on stuff I love for a really long time, but I do reach this attention, you know, deficit level too. I guess we all do in varying degrees, you know. But I just stop, pause for a second, and say, okay, let's take a mental breather. And what are we doing here? We're doing major, minor, minor, major. Right? We got a whole step to minor, whole step to minor, half step to major. Then we got, you know, this is the 4 chord, this is the 5 chords, that's major. We got a whole step to the minor, then a whole step to the minor 7 flat 5, and then octave. See, so by taking that moment, that helped me a lot. So. So, it's good to go, okay, it's major, whole step, minor, whole step, minor, then that's half step to major, right? So, let's just do that much. Now I know this is the 4 chord, right? So again, we've got 1 chord major, 2 chord minor, 3 chord minor, 4 chord major, 5 chord is what? Major. It's dominant 7, but we're just dealing with triads, so that just makes it a major. Then what? The 6th chord is minor. There are 3 minor chords in the major scale, followed by this minor 7 flat 5. Whoops. And then the major triad. So let's talk about this minor 7 flat 5, right? Let's go down to C. We're in C major, but we're going to take a look at a C minor 7 triad here, right? So this is the 1, this is the 3, and the 5, right? So if we want to do a minor 7 flat 5, there's our 5, right? See, and I was getting really kind of disconnected from the intention, right? Who wants to? As I get uncomfortable with stuff, things start to sound jagged, and I need to be mindful of not doing that. So what I'm working on here is like, okay, I see this triad, right? Minor 7 flat 5 triad. So, where's the octave? It's the C. Right? So how am I doing that? We have a flat 5 in the triad. And the 5th of C is right here, right? We know that from our C major triad. So if I'm playing the C minor 7 flat 5 triad, I know the flat 5 is here, right? And I know there's a minor 3rd, because this is stacked minor 3rds. The diminished triad, the diminished triad. Minor 7. Yeah, flat 5. Not diminished, the minor 7 flat 5. Or what would that be? Sorry. Yeah, diminished. We're going to get into diminished, man. That's a precursor right there. But that is the only non-major or minor triad in the major scale. Man, we're going to love that diminished thing later. But, if you're working on the major scale and you haven't done altered chords before, I know that sounds really weird, but just get used to hearing that sound, So, major, minor, minor, fucking place. Yes, you need to know it that well. Right? I don't know this. I've never looked at it right there. Yeah. So I should look at it in that position. So again, here I've discovered something that I need to work on in sharing my practice with you. I will spare you that right now. So I got these triads going, and then really focus on that. And this is the harmonization. There was a lesson on that. If you don't get the harmonization piece, it's really as simple as the notes in the scale, in the C major scale, are C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. We number each one of those notes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1 octave. Right? So that's what we're talking about when we're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're talking about scale tones in the major scale. And then with each one of those, there's a chord associated with it. The first one is major, second one's minor, third one's minor, then major, major, minor, minor, major. Yeah, so I guess, when I was talking about, you got to do that flat 5 on the 7. All right, well, this is a lot. There was something else that I thought I wanted to cover. Did I cover that? My apologies here. We went through kind of knowing the scale everywhere. Oh, and then intervals. So thirds. So we go to the third note in the scale. So first note to the third note, and then we go to the second note to the fourth note. So that's that same interval relationship. Does that make sense? It's easier this way. Think about it. Right, it's just the first and the third note of each harmonized chord in the scale. Oops. What am I doing? Major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, minor, major. All right, so then what we do though is we go. Right, that's a cool. And you do that in all positions. So you want to get away from sounding like you're playing scales. That's one way to do it. And it's just handy. It's something that I've recognized in people's playing, and I want to be able to not do it all the time, but like it's just a cool thing to be able to do in the moment. And then maybe just do a piece about it. Right, so I want to be working on this. So I'm sharing with you. I mean, this is something kind of like I have it in places, but I want to know it, completely. And then sixth are the same. Sixth intervals. Steve Cropper just died. He famously, Soul Man, right? Those are sixth. So let's see. So this is new for me, obviously, right? I know it in pieces, but I want to know it, everywhere. So I got work to do there. Thirds and sixths, man. And we're going to get into the major, the seventh. You got to add the seventh degree. Let's just do it now, man. We're in it. So we have the triads going, but each chord has a seventh degree in it. So our first chord is C, but we add a seventh, right? So instead that's a C triad. Now it's C major 7. I hate that sound of that. One of the things I want to work on is my voicings of major 7th chords. I need something that sounds, better than that. And you could do, like that is technically a major 7 because we got the 3, 6, 9, 7. So here we don't have a root in that. So we can play B minor 7 against a C bass, the bassist is playing the C, depending on the tune, right? Does it work? But stuff like that. But anyway, the first chord is C major 7. Second chord is D minor 7. Again, we're harmonizing the major scale. Third is E minor 7. Fourth is F major 7. Fifth is G dominant 7. So what's a dominant 7? It's the major triad 1, 3, 5 with a flat 7. The minor 7, it has a flat 7 as well, but the 3 is also minor. So you can really, we've talked about this, but like there's the major triad, C major. It's major, minor. Let's do that maybe a little higher, like. flatted seventh, right? We were just talking about that. So from here, where's the flatted seventh? What's right there? It's like a Grant Green voicing. It's so cool. Now, if we wanted that to be a minor 7, we could just flat the 3rd. It's a bit of a stretch, right? So that's C minor 7. We could do this. C minor 11. Yeah, that's cool. Also like that, right? But so that's what we're dealing with, right? So let's so when we harmonize, we add the 7th degree. Right? So major 7, D minor 7, E minor 7, F major 7, G dominant 7, then A minor 7. Let's see. Oh, jeez. Yeah. Is that right? Yeah. No, yeah, right? And then there's the diminished. Now we've added the flat 7. All right, so let's do it again. So really paying attention to what this looks like, right, on this diminished. And I was getting away from the intention again. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, man. It's a lot, isn't it? Welcome, man, to the deep dive that is, you know, if you really want to be free on the instrument, this is the work that we got to do. And as you can tell, I'm not through with this work in the slightest. You know, it's really just begun for me. You know, I have this awareness now, and my playing is, I think, dramatically improved. And we have to be okay with where we're at, no matter where you are right now in this. Maybe it's just awareness and you're going back and learning the first positions of the major scale. That's cool. Knowing how deep you need to go. Don't be overwhelmed by it. Think of it at the fun of pursuing it, you know, and I think these things build new neural networks in our brains, you know, new neural pathways. I've felt my own uh, mental faculties improve over the last 3.5 years. And I use this analogy that it's like you're paving new roads in your brain. And all the old roads that were being used, I think there's like, roads get used for multiple purposes. Maybe there's, cars and tractors and semis driving down these roads. They get worn out over time. So you create some new pathways by working on shit like this. That's it. That's it. That's it. What am I doing? Oh, look at that. So that's how you got to start there. That's it. That's it. That's it. So, new neural pathways being formed. All right, man. I've been rattling on for a very long time. If you're still hanging with me, peace. And I'll do my best to guide you through the study process later.